Now are the principles of using refrigerator. The first one is to store food according to the space. We should store food according to the space of the refrigerator as it helps in the air crossing and other stuff, so don't overdo it. Avoid too much opening of door as it can damage the food, so avoid too much opening of it. Store cooked stew in low T containers like kormas and other soup as it covers the less space and can become cool immediately. Place the food which can stale like milk or milk products easily on the top of the shelf so they can stay fresh for few days. The next is store all the fruits and vegetables after washing them. We can store them on the lower box of the fridge. Store eggs at their provided areas. Use door shelves for place bottles. For both eggs and bottles, the refrigerator door have specific areas, so store them over there. The next is to place the things in such a way that the cool air can cross all the directions of the refrigerator, same as the first one. Store the food according to its pace so the cool air can cross all the directions of the refrigerator. The next is to store the cooked or boiled food after cooling. It can avoid the damage of the food. The next one are the principles for using the freezer. The first one is to store the food in small packets according to the daily use. The major reason for this that it avoids the refrosting of the food again, which can cause the damage of the food. Use polythene bags for storage as covers the less area and we can store more food in the freezer. We can use polythene bags to store, and we can also label them for the later convenience and usage. Pack the food tightly to avoid the air passage and it helps in freezing process. Cool the freezer for at least 2 hours before storage. It also helps in freezing process. And cool the warm products before storing them into the refrigerator by cooling them in the room temperature helps the food to remain in a better condition for a long period of time. The next are the safety practices to prevent accidents in the kitchen. Mostly we work in the kitchen, sometimes many accident happens. The major accident that happens in the kitchen are slipping on the floors. Accidents because of tools, heavy utensils, and because of clothes. So the reason of slipping on the floor, the first one is wet floor, and to avoid it we should keep our floor dry and clean. The second is due to any sort of eatable or oil spill in the floor. It usually occurs in the kitchen, and to avoid that we should keep the floor clean, and we should clean it after and before the cooking. And the last one is due to disorganized cleaning stuff. Sometimes if we don't organize the stuffs in the kitchen, accident occurs, so we should avoid them. The reason of the accidents which mostly occur in kitchen is because of tools like knives. It majorly because of carelessness or some sort of breaking issue in the tool, or also because of disorganized kitchen. So to avoid them we should keep the knives away from the children and should use the proper tools for any sort of work. Like for a knife we should use proper sharp knife for cutting any sort of thing, and we should organize the things or knives and the tools to avoid any sort of accidents. In case of heavy utensils, sometimes we store the heavy pots on the higher places, so accidents can occur. They can fall on the ground or any other sort of accident. To avoid them, we should store them on the lower cabinets, or sometimes we place the hot pots on the sides of the stove, so place them on the center to avoid any sort of accident. Sometimes accident occurs because we leave the stove on, so turn the stove off after cooking. By leaving the oven door open, many other accidents can happen, so avoid that. The fourth reason of accident is clothes. We sometimes use nylon clothes or sometimes of loose fabrics or slippery shoes, so avoid them and use proper cotton clothes and proper aprons, and avoid slippery shoes used for any sort of to any sort of accidents that can occur in the kitchen. Now, if we take the review of today's lecture, by taking care of few things like proper table or dining cloth or tray cover, by taking them, or with adequate selection of cutlery, napkins, and proper arrangement of flowers and tables, we can present our meal in great ways. Along with serving, eating manners and etiquettes in cleaning are equally important for preventing food wastage, avoiding nutrient loss, food shortage, and in providing variety of food. Proper food storage is present, and we have learned different food storage methods as well, which includes refrigerating, freezing, drying, by making jams, marbles, pickles, or chutney. Along with that, we have also learned the difference between perishable and non-perishable food, and also we have also learned how we can store both perishable and non-perishable foods. We have also discussed how can we take care of refrigerator and freezer, and how can we avoid small accidents that occurs in the fridge and in the kitchen. I have also shared some resource related to the lecture, so do read that. Weekly assignment is also shared with you all. Read that carefully. Also read the book content to solve the assignment. In the case of using any sort of resource for answering the questions, make sure the points are relatable to those which are present in the key. I hope you all a safe and nice weekend. Thank you.